That's me in one of the most beautiful cars in the world with a Royce Spectre. And look at me, this beauty. Well, I'm still pretty lucky. I can afford to drive this car. Look how beautiful it is. It's the brand new model. Here we find the spirit of ecstasy. It can even go hide when I'm going to have a little drink. Right there, I'll take you. We're going to have fun. You'll see. It's a pretty nice place. Here, I'm showing you the gallery, one of the most beautiful places in the Ritz. So what are we going to choose? It was just a dream. Oh no, no! Hello everyone, welcome to the Sports Mechanics YouTube channel. Today we can call this very high-end, elegant and chic mechanics. Look at what I found for you here. It's the new Rolls-Royce Spectre. This is really the highest end in the world. Rolls-Royce. It's not for nothing that we say it's the Rolls-Royce of washing machines. It's the Rolls-Royce of whatever you want. This is truly the best of the best. And for already tens and tens of years, Rolls-Royce, it's really the symbol of success in life. Having a Rolls-Royce, it's wow. The Phantom is one of the most well-known models. Now, there are several models. There is the Phantom, which remains always really the big kind of sedan. It seems to me that there was the V-Race, there was the Drophead. Rolls-Royce currently offers the Cullinan, Phantom and Spectre models. The Spectre is the brand's new fully electric vehicle. And in the future, Rolls-Royce has announced that they will be 100% electric, and it's really very interesting to have a 100% electric car. Just like that, because in terms of comfort, we go up another level. Rolls-Royce was renowned for its 6.7 5-litre V12 engine, which featured a small component to reduce vibration. And here we have no vibration at all. Since there are no moving parts except for an electric motor which would not cause any vibration. The advantage, or even better than a V12, is that we now have instant torque. And in terms of torque, we have 900 Newton meters. 900 Newton meters. To give you an idea, an Aventador SVJ that's around 800. Here we have 900 with 585 horsepower, which is normally enough. Back in the day, Rolls-Royce didn't announce the power of the cars. They said it's sufficient. We already had, before all this, power reserves instead of a tachometer. And now really, with the electric side, we are really going to have this reserve. We can see that even when we have 90, we only use 4% of the power reserve of this car. So clearly the torque, the fact of not having vibrations, the silence, the comfort. During this test, we will try it on all types of roads, including winding roads, highways, national roads, and in the city. But clearly, if you are a Rolls-Royce customer, you have probably already tried this. You were invited by your dealer. Or you said to yourself, hey, I have a friend who has it. And clearly, in fact, it's really worth it. Is it more worth it than a 512? It's different. With a V12, you could do a lot of driving with quick refueling at the pump. Now, we'll see how recharging compares. We can recharge up to 200 kilodalars, allowing for a significant recharge from 10% to 80%. Like most cars, in about 30 minutes, we have a battery of 102 net kWh, which is a gigantic battery. The battery alone weighs 700 kilograms. It's the weight of a small Lotus. To give you an idea, it is of course located under the floor roughly in this black part here to lower the center of gravity. The purpose of positioning this battery there is precisely also that it is good to drive. Despite the changes, the car remains very heavy at 1,961 pounds, nearly 3 tons. With me inside, it weighs a little bit on the acceleration. It won't feel like almost all electric cars. It's very torquey and powerful. We'll see how it performs during braking. In terms of size, it remains a Rolls-Royce. It measures 5.48 meters long. It's very, very long. In terms of width, what is very, very rare is that it exceeds 2 meters without the mirrors. 2.0, 2 meters without mirrors, 2.0, 8 meters with the mirrors, which do not protrude that much, but in fact even the handles here, which stick out a lot, make it a gigantic car. 1 meter 57 high for this kind of car, it's still a good height already. But the most impressive thing is its wheelbase. We have 3 meters 20 wheelbase between the front axle and the rear axle for a coupe car. 2 plus 2 because we will mainly use it for 2. But you will see that even I can fit quite easily in the back, and that makes it a real 2 plus 2. To go on a family vacation if you have young children, or not too big yet if they have eaten too much soup. And we can travel with it. We will see that even on the highway, it's comfortable. Well, most Rolls-Royce customers have a lot of cars. I believe the average is between 7 and 8 cars for a Rolls-Royce customer. He will have a choice, possibly a second Rolls, another large sport utility vehicle, or a Cullinan, for example. But this, for everyday use, it's really the best, if you have space. And a valet too, because parking it is a little bit difficult. Rolls-Royce has announced that starting from 2030, all their cars will be electric. Farewell to the V12 engine, regrettably. This car starts at 430,000 euros. You will need to count on about 500,000 euros if you want to get one. I mentioned a range of 500 kilometers. We'll see how it performs in actual conditions. We have 2 engines, one at the front and one at the back. The best electric engine technology from BMW, such as the one used in the i7, has been reworked and enhanced for this vehicle. A completely different management of the electric mapping to have even more comfort, to really have this elasticity, the same with braking and recovery. We have a 0 to 100, which is still announced in 4.5 seconds, 4-5 seconds. For that, it's the equivalent of a sports car. It weighs a bit more than an Alpine A110, which is equivalent to the weight of 3 Alpine A110s. Imagine them one on top of the other to give you an idea, and it still takes 250 kilometers per hour. I'm not in Germany, so I can't test that, although I would have liked to. The aerodynamics of this electric car have been specifically reworked, as it was necessary to make adjustments for its electric powertrain. On the electric, the 110, it's one of the most important things, so we still have a very statutory car. It's very square, it's big, it's vertical on the front. Even the Spirit of Ecstasy has been reworked in the wind tunnel, so that the air clings a little less and that it is as straight as possible and that it resists as little as possible. You know, like when you stick your hand out like this. They even reworked the Spirit of XASI. It was the first time they had done that. The 110 for this car is 0.25, which is quite good for a vehicle of this size and power. Let's see what it gives. Even with air noises included. In fact, a little bit exclusive too. It's the size of the door. This door, it measures 1 meter 50. It's a door that must weigh at least 150 kilograms. You saw with the ease with which I opened it. In fact, there is a torque sensor that detects when I pull on the door. Who will come to assist it when I come to open it? And when I'm going to get inside, just the foot on the brake will allow me to close this door. But it measures 1 meter 50. It's the longest Rolls door that currently exists. We will see inside as soon as I give you a tour. We have a roof sky with, if I'm not mistaken, 4,796 LEDs with 22 for the illuminated grille. I'll show you some of it at night. Tonight I'm going to go into Paris. We're going to have a little drink at the Ritz with Madame, and it should be nice. I might also take a few pictures for you. On the other stuff, a little bit technical, we also find 4-wheel steering, which is much more practical with this car. Because given the wheelbase and the size, maneuvering will be much simpler. And to close the door, I just have to press this little button and it's electric. However, be careful with your valet or the person who is going to ride with you because the doors are electric. But there are no sensors to detect if the door is going to hit a wall. So likewise, if you have a box, you won't be able to get out of your car because it's just gigantic and the door is at least 30 centimeters wide. You need to have a big house. I hope you have a big house if you're buying this kind of car. Otherwise, it's complicated. Valet all the time. Since it's a Rolls, you know you can customize everything. Sometimes there are special series. The black badge, for example. The red color suits it well. The sparkles are beautiful, and you can feel the high quality of the varnish. We find the little Rolls badge on this side with a reminder of the blinker. It's just beautiful. Rolls-Royce wheel centers stay upright as they are mounted on bearings, keeping the logo always vertical. We have 22-inch wheels. Today we can have 23-inch wheels. We are on electric tires that are specially developed for electric cars so that it makes less noise. We are at 255 wide at the four corners, which is massive. Here we are on winter tires, but even with winter tires on the road, it doesn't make a noise. Imagine yourself with all-season tires or summer tires. It must be even more comfortable. It's very comfortable. Choosing 22 inches makes the sides a little bit higher, so even a bit more comfort. The 23, it makes the rims a little bigger. And, well, it's also pretty. It will always be comfortable since we have an extremely well-controlled suspension. In short, the pinnacle of luxury. I told you that everything can be customized. Like this line here, handcrafted by a painter at Rolls-Royce. He really does it by hand, and you can see even in the paintwork that it's truly handcrafted. And it's not just a sticker that's been placed there or done by a machine. That's a small option that will cost you, but everything has a cost. We'll only discuss the total car price as all other features are optional. You want green mirrors with the red part, you want this part in chrome, or in steel or carbon. Of course, everything is possible. You ask Rolls-Royce, they will tell you, yes, sir, it's possible. And anyway, we don't talk about price. It's vulgar. Well, look at the length of this hood. The hood starts here. There's over 2 meters of hood. I'm 1 meter 80. The thing is, gigantic. That's the face. Before, we always find this very vertical grille that lights up, especially on this specification. It's the first time for an electric car, which wasn't possible before, but is now. We can even have the spirit of ecstasy here, which will be lit by a small LED strip. We will find out tonight whether they have made it an option or not. We have 360 cameras, well integrated here in this grille. And do you see the little videos there on Instagram? So I'm not as sexy as those little blonde girls, but there you have it. And here it's not like at Mercedes, where there's the May bar, and it's made of plastic. Here, it's pleasant. And honestly, you can feel that we're really a level above. The little spirit of ecstasy here, if someone tries to steal it, of course, it will retract as usual. Something very simple, and likewise, the goal of a car of this style is to be understated. And that's also what luxury is. I don't know if you see the houses of architects, designers. Each time, it's something very understated, very simple. And what matters to us when we have money is luxury and ease and simplicity. And there, anyway, we know when there is that and this grille, we know you have nothing to prove. On the side, we find the signature of day here with this light strip. Here, this very discreet little line. Very fine. And underneath, we find the optical blocks with the little Rolls-Royce. Of course, we have automatic lights. We have 100% LED, etc. We also have level 2 driving, which is a self-driving car without a driver. The driver only needs basic driving skills. Here you have your own personal assistant. Further down, we see the driving assistance sensors for level 2 autonomous driving. Something very simple, with some chrome, a little more but very little in the end, apart from this grille and a few small reminders. The bottom of the vehicle is in a tasteful black color. It could have been body colored or in other shades, but it's presented here in black. We don't have any raw plastic or anything like that. It doesn't exist here. Under this huge hood, when we lift it, well, there is nothing. In fact, it's complete. It's the systems underneath. I would have liked to have specific clothing items mentioned. Rolls-Royce, if you are watching, please arrange this video better. Are you planning a small special leather luggage in the colors of the car that would be stored there? It would be most effective. Well, here, you have to go very, very far, as I said, to open the door. On the side, you can see the placed mirrors. The mirrors have always had this imposing, massive style on the cars, in a small, quite inclined windshield, although not very high, where we also have the cameras for driving aids. In short, we'll see what it gives when we're the driver. That I'll take you just after, on the side. The length of the machine, as I was saying, 5 meters 48, it's just gigantic. You'll need a nice box 1 or else a nice Domain Coupe version 2+2, the large rims in 22 inches like a good spread. We still have nice overhangs at the back to have room in the trunk, but also panels that are located about here at the level of the backrest. The line is incredible, and when you really see it, the first time we see this, we say to ourselves, and when they gave me the key, I thought to myself, is this really mine? Incredible. The handle here. Often, with Rolls-Royce, there are opposing doors on the Phantom where the two are in the middle. It opens like this. We find these parts a little bit chrome style which go around here. The config is just incredible. Bravo Rolls-Royce for having done it like this. I would have picked a stylish red and white color scheme. Either a white exterior with a red interior or a red exterior with a white interior. And actually, if you want, we make a kitty and I buy it. I'll take you all for a ride afterwards. Who's putting in money? Regarding the windows, there's no post here, so I can lower everything, including the laminated windows. The double glazing is so thick, it's almost like triple glazing. It's incredible how it completely blocks out any outside noise from the car. This also applies to the soundproofing of the doors, roof, and other areas. There are a lot of kilos of absorbent and insulating foam that are placed everywhere in the car, and even more so in this Spectre since it's electric. And that means we don't even have engine noise or anything. That is to say, it's extremely quiet, so we have to pay even more attention to the details. And the same, when we're going to put on the music, there shouldn't be any vibrations or anything. That's very, very difficult. Few brands know how to do it. You know my adoration for the rear three-quarters. And here, look at this body surface. It's quite impressive. It's huge, gigantic, massive. To use all the wetness you want, our friend from Monaco would say it's absurd. And there are still some serious wings. On this side, we find the charging port. Here we have the AC and DC, the continuous. As I was telling you, we can recharge in 30 minutes. Basically, from 10 to 80% for 0 to 100%, it will take around 1 hour. Because, you know, electric cars from 80 to 100%, it takes almost as much time as from 10 to 80. Because once all the atoms here, the lithium, all that, the little ions and everything, to compact them, well, to arrange them all at the end, it takes a lot more time. So the most important thing is the 10 to 80%. Having this kind of fast charging, and we will test, I hope, a recharge with this car. The lights here are quite pretty, thin and elegant, with the small Rolls-Royce also visible. On this side, we can see that we have extremely bulging wings. It really makes the car look a bit sporty. And here, it's rare that on an electric car, we don't have a little spoiler to cut through the air. It's quite rounded, but it's so classy, it's elegant. And the trunk, it opens right here. Wait, let me tell you about the rest. Here, the same, some pretty parts, no visible plastic, everything is painted. The little chrome strip here, the reflectors there. The backup camera is a simple thing. I wish Rolls-Royce made it retractable, which would have been perfect. But there is still a little trick to clean it remotely, with windshield washer fluid right here. Perfect license plate holder, very simple. On the trunk. Wait, I put you right at the back. It's also nice from the back, but I admit I still have a big preference for the front. Rolls-Royce has done very, very well. These fronts, the back, it's still much more rounded. It's a little bit different.
All right, I open here, hop there.
The trunk, we have a volume of 380 liters of trunk, could expect larger for this kind of car. Then it's a bit of a family car. Me, to go on vacation, I would have maybe put a bit more trunk. We have carpet mats here, a really high quality carpet. The whole interior is very pleasant. Underneath, I find another small space. Check out the clever feature from Rolls-Royce, a small, genuine leather strap that activates when I come up to it. There is a magnet that holds this part for me so I can go get my cables, and that's pretty good. Then, when we make long trips, often we have the cables directly on the fast charging strips and others, but it's good to always keep them with you. Otherwise, it makes a little extra storage. Even here, it's filled with carpets. It's a carpet that's bigger than the carpet in my living room, almost. It's really comfy. I'd love to go there, almost in socks. By the way, do I know you?
Hop in the trunk. Let's test this. 380 liters. What does that give?
If we can put an initial coin offering in there after all. The animal fits in here. There's a little bit of space. I have an LED here. The triangle is hidden there, so it's not very, very wide. If you buy Louis Vuitton suitcases, be careful. They must not be too high to fit in. It should fit. Hopefully they considered that. We can still do some shopping. Just in case, there's a bit of space left here. Oh yes. I don't know if we will have it in France too. But there is the anti-kidnapping thing on this side. That's a rule, for example, in the United States. But in case you have problems with some people from the mafia, they shouldn't be too big. So, for this car, as I was telling you, to open it, I pull here. The door is assisted. When I let go, it stops. If I want to close it, I press this little button. It also closes, otherwise from the inside, just press the brake. But above all, I must not force. I could be very, very old. I could very slowly. I make no effort afterwards. Even if I push it here, it is very, very heavy. In fact, there is a sensor that as soon as I put a little force on the door comes open. Even the door, everything is extraordinary. Returning to it, as I was mentioning, it's another instance where I come to pull this metallic part here in Paris. Young people will put in some effort to achieve that, but they shouldn't be forced too much. I would have liked it. There's a small electric button that may also work to put up a field. I'm tapping my feet a little bit because we have a very beautiful, incredible carpet. I'm slipping in here inside and look at this. It's Nico, 1.80 meters. Well, I have room. I have room here at the knee level because I didn't pull the seat, but at the elbow level, and others, I'm fine, even at the head level. So even if I have a little fart that comes to brush this starry sky filled with LED, if you recall 4,796 LED, but it's luxury everywhere. The keys here are metallic. I have the starry sky here, so I think I can turn it on or off. I can put more stars, less stars, the lighting there. I can turn everything off or on. I have leather everywhere. Absolutely nothing. And even there, in fact, we had to cook the overstitching really everywhere. These are metallic keys here. I have the little metallic thing also for my air conditioning. Here, there, it's real wood. Here, so the same. So for people who have slightly greasy fingers, it can be a bit annoying, but it's the same. It's so pleasant. And at Rolls-Royce, we don't set our temperature. We say I want it cooler, I want it warmer. And for both sides, I have the heated seats here. Do I want the air conditioning to be soft, medium, or very strong? At this spot, the device, it's pretty, it's metallic, and also look inside. We have 2 USB ports. It's here and the same, always the small carpet. We don't see plastic anywhere except this little hook. Well, that we tolerate. And then here, if we want, we can even have a small fridge for the champagne and everything. But even everything is in leather. And even in the sides, the doors, everything is in leather. Everything I see is in leather. I absolutely do not see any plastic. Impossible to find a plastic part here. And that's pretty cool. And if I therefore put my seat back, look even there, so the seat will come back. It moves back, so the seat is adjusted. For me, when I drive a car, I still have space here at the knee level. It's pleasant, and I would almost want to take myself for a ride in the back, but I admit I prefer to drive. Let's learn about the driving position, then we'll try it on the road and see how it feels. So, you know that I like to take you around the car. This way you can see a little bit of the details. There are many subtle details to observe, even if the overall look is very sober and elegant. The key is in the simplicity. But while being wow, and no matter where we are, look how big it looks. When we go to another car over there, it looks like a truck, but how good are we? Inside, the side is just extraordinary. The lines are crazy. These lights, the charging hatch is well integrated. It's rare for a car and very thin light, and this ultra saber rear. This scene resembles a movie set. A real diffuser is visible, albeit slightly, at the diffuser level. I'm not going to show them, but look at this. It's to guide the airflow as best as possible and that it's optimized. Same for the car's autonomy, same for the rims. The fuller they are, the more optimistic means of air that enters a field. The same pink notes are on the brakes, though not shown. As I was saying, it's always perfectly straight here, which is incredible. And so, to open this car, I come to open, I pull my door, and depending on when I let it go, it stops, and look at the thickness of the door. My hand is already very large, measuring roughly 9.84 inches from my thumb to the bottom. The door is about 11.81 inches wide. As I was telling you, quite easily, as we are on a Rolls-Royce, so we can do this. I can also hold the handle here if I want to bring the car and close the window. Notice the glass thickness. We can clearly see the double glazing with lamination inside. And since it's a Rolls-Royce, of course, I have my umbrella. And look, I have my Rolls-Royce umbrella in the colors of the car. And that's pretty amazing. With the little Rolls-Royce noted right here. The price of the umbrella is about 700 euros. And there's another thing a little bit special about this umbrella. Don't move. I'm going to show you it was waiting little thing a little bit special with this Rolls-Royce umbrella. We have a nice scratch here to open it, so there, all the pluses, as we call it, all the frames are well at the bottom. Unclip it like this, and then I come to open and look at the little effort that has to be done, only that's all. I didn't have to make too big a movement. I go from here to there. I didn't have to go all the way. So I don't know exactly what kind of material it is. It's air. It almost looks like carbon. It's very light. And honestly, there are little springs at the end and others. It's just extraordinary. And the same to close it. That was easy, wasn't it? Then I come to bring all this back. I know, it needs to be brought back there, although it's not that easy. Come on, let's get back to it. No, I missed it there. The valet must ensure everything is properly arranged and taken care of. I can't do this every day. Hop, 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 there, that's good. And so, then like a sword, I put it back in its sheath. Right here, and I slide all the way to the end until the little click. And then, to pull it out each time, it's still very pretty. I would have liked the red to be the same red as my car, even if it could have been good. Small detail. These are basically the supports. You can see that the bodywork is just huge. Also, it's gone. In terms of safety, there are reinforcements everywhere. You are in a Rolls Royce. It's reminded here that it's made in good wood. Your plate with your serial number is here. The Rolls Royce is engraved on this plate with the lions. It's very nice, even to the touch. Everything is beautiful, everything is extraordinary, the door extraordinary too. Here they took the option with the illuminated doors here, so there. I don't know if you see it, but actually at night it's illuminated. Inside we have leather everywhere the same, not a piece of raw plastic, whatever it is, everything is very pretty. The massage seats, here we have the heated seats. Memory on 2 positions. When I move my seat, I can do it myself or press L2 to adjust the passenger seat. The mirror controls are the same. There are small parts here, very nice trunk opening. The mirrors to fold them. The handle here and the same. It's lit up here inside. And the BIS POC Rolls-Royce audio system is over 1300 watts among 14 speakers. Here, the sound is incredible in terms of sound quality. For me, there is Rolls-Royce, which is the top of the top of the top of the top. Really, it's the best there is next from what I've tried. There is Bauer Wilkins on the Volvo XC90 then. There is the Burmester on the Mercedes. The GLC was amazing, better than the Maybach I found. Cupra is now with Schneider, who makes impressive and frankly quite amazing sound. And something I absolutely did not expect is the Peugeot 408 with the focal system. Incredible, bluffing, but a lot above, and we can put it very, very loud, which is incredible. The door, so leather, leather, leather. The seat leather, 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 leather. This sheep's wool. Here, look at the thickness. I can sink my fingers in. You can't see my fingers at all. That look, it's soft. It's like a cat. I want to stroke the carpet here, and look, even there, I have leather here. The pedals. Well, something quite standard, the big rest then on the side of what? Release the handbrake or parking brake. Now the auto hold here, and look at the attention to detail. That's it. Even there we have a small tidy part and we can't see the inside. This is the steering wheel adjustment here, with this little joystick. And even he has it bad. This might be one of the only plastic pieces we'll see here with the stalk, but the stalks, it's the same. We can have them leather wrapped if we wish. Here, these are the lights. We of course have the auto mode here. This is the brightness of the control panel. Start the car here and the lights here. Then come on, I'm going to come directly inside to close my door. I told you no, I'm not forcing a door foot on the brake. The door closes automatically and there it is. Nico, he's at home right here, and what does it look like? I'm going to back up as much as possible to give you a direct view right there. So there, I'm backed up to the maximum. My big Rolls-Royce steering wheel is indeed round, and if it's very nice in itself, it always made big steering wheels like that, and we find the logo right here. It's very classy, it's very sober at the same time. We have the driving aids like at BMW, since they take everything that's best from BMW. Here, with the set, the limiter modes, regulator, adaptive regulator with level 2 driving. Here, I choose what I want, also leather. Despite the slamming and ringing, it's quite discreet and muffled inside. And here are the controls. M. Picked up the phone and my little voice command. The sound here. For the radio there. And look at the same here. The speed selector, not just a squirrel, but the metallic ones. Today, many options are available. The parking, it's like this to start the car. So I come here. This is the sound it makes when I start the car. Of course, everything is digital. Digital screen on this side. It still looks like what was done at the time. Digital screen. On this side too, we have the Rolls-Royce clock here. We can have 3 different ones. And we also have the little stars here. With the marked spectrum on the other side is the same. All the vents, look, these are the small metal controls that I pull or push to have more or less ventilation. The sound of the volume as well. Here I just have the door lock, and there it's the same. It's wood, but extremely high quality wood. You have no idea how nice it is. even to the touch. It's so pleasant. Top stitching here. You can see that we can customize it as we want. Also here in red. As you could, I didn't even show you more than that. The seats, look how they are worked. The top stitching, the headrests. The Rolls-Royce embroidered here. You can have your name marked if you want. Could I have marked Nicholas, owner of this Rolls-Royce? I've chosen Rolls-Royce. We ask, they do it, simple as that. The seats are extremely wide, very well designed for maximum comfort, You can see there in the door a little bit of lighting as well. On this side, the controls, on the other side, it's really beautiful, and it's the same. You want it to be yellow here, green here, blue here, orange here, black here. You have what you want. The seats are heated, ventilated, are massaging at the seat level, at the back level. We have everything we desire. The starry sky, so I'll redo a bit of night for you, but look at the stars there. We see them again, the handles up there, metallic with leather. I have one too, look, but it's super pleasant. Even the movement, it's crazy. There too. Same, there are airbags everywhere there. This part here, with the mirror, the LED above, even the microphone, they thought to make it in chrome. Like that is pretty even there. The little attention's a little bit everywhere. Frankly, very pretty. Same for the central part, in chrome. The lighting then, does it know? It goes like this. You have to press there to have it. This one and this one, it lights up everything. This time it will have a lot of interior lighting. The rear view mirror, that we find something that comes from BMW. It's the same with, of course, the rear view mirror that automatically tints at night. I have a hidden head-up display here. I can't see it like this, but it's there, blinking. I don't know if you can see it. The system discussed here is from the best BMWs and is very fast. We have YouTube applications, because when we're going to charge our car, we can watch YouTube. The e-subscriber identity module wasn't configured, but we could have watched a short sports mechanics video. The shortcut keys are reminiscent of earlier times, and the decision to keep genuine keys is still quite enjoyable. Similarly, this wooden component. In fact, we could say that it's a car from the same era, but at the same time with everything that is most modern here. Inside, same as in the back, it's hotter, colder. This is for the lower body, this is for the upper body. The soft suspension works exceptionally well in the electric car. It's quiet and everything is top-notch. Indeed, there was nothing else to say. On this side, we can close the glove box. Pretty standard. I might have liked a slightly larger glove box where we could put some cool bottles. That could have been very nice. The spirit of ecstasy is recalled here, along with e-drive controls including back buttons and navigation options. I'll go into the nave, search and use the e-drive controls to select what I want. If, for example, I want to go to Marseille, I can also note here, for example, Marseille, to give you an idea of how it works. Marseille is over 372 miles away from City Hall. I even have the City Hall's number if I want to start the departure process. The guidance now calculates everything for me. Let's see how it will calculate all this for the Paris region. Typically, it provides me with stops. One here, there, and I'll arrive at the final destination. It can tell me that each time there, it's a charger. 300 kilowatts, 804 kilometers with traffic, 9 hours 39 to get there. And then it tells me, so there you go, you're going to recharge so much, you're going to recharge so much, you're going to stay. You'll stay for 8 minutes, then 21 minutes, and finally 31 minutes before arriving directly in Marseille. So, of course, we can also customize all of this like any electric car or like any high-end car from BMW to say I'm going to arrive with so much, etc. We can really now plan a lot of things. Well, here I have shown you a little bit of all this. Now let's try this car, see what it gives on the road. Here I am inside this night spectrum. I'm going to turn off like this. You'll see even better. Look there, this really perforated display with the spectrum is very pretty. The clock very simple, very classy. The night lighting really the same. Simplicity we have at the level of commands. In this way, everything lit up in white. It's super pleasant. And on this side, we find lighting in the doors. Here, a little bit lower. In the door bin as well, where it's in red leather, and at the level of the ceiling light, you can see it this way. It's really very, very nice with all the LEDs. And also when I'm going to look at it like this, at the rear and front door levels, I'm not sure if you can see it clearly, but this was for both the rear and front doors. It's really very, very nice. And to that, this starry sky, wow. I'm really a huge fan of this, and I can turn it off if I want. But I admit that when it's off, it's a little bit sadder. I'm going to leave it on. It lights up the same way, gradually. It provides constant living area lighting and is quite stylish. Friends, here I am on board this spaceship. I frequently discuss air conditioning and other noises with you. Here, it's soft, it's muffled, it's comfortable in the cockpit. It's just incredible. Drive, there is no noise. I feel like I'm in a cocoon. I don't know what's happening outside. There's a crazy noise outside because there's a highway that goes right there. There's no more highway. There's a truck that goes there. It's incredible. The suspension, the comfort. To tell you the truth, I just picked up this car. Just now, the steering wheel is hot because there is the heated steering wheel. The car is huge. However, you really need to pay attention to that. But this comfort, the highway is just above this starry sky. I love it. I love it. It's exceptional. What's happening right now? Friends, it's thanks to you. It would roll everything. It's so pleasant. You have no idea how much it makes me want to be rich, to be able to do this. You try this, you say I need this in life. So it's just gigantic. When we say cars, it's a ship, etc. Here, really, it's a ship. You really have to pay attention to everything that's going on. It takes up a lot of space on the road. The hood is extremely long. It bugs people out because Rolls-Royce, it's very, very rare in France. We see a few of them sometimes in Cannes, in Saint-Tropez, a few in Paris. Otherwise, it's Monaco, etc. But it's so rare, it's so prestigious, it's so luxurious. There isn't even a dealership in France. Driving a Rolls-Royce was a childhood dream. Thanks to Rolls-Royce for lending me this car. Thanks to those who organized this test. Thank you to you. Because clearly I'm living a dream right now. And it's just extraordinary. The comfort, habit, driving comfortable in big cars. But here, I admit that but here, there are big machines running and others. No, it's raining here. No, it's going to get dirty quickly with rough strips. We don't even feel them rough strip here. Look, rough strip. The comfort of this thing is just exceptional. I love this incredible comfort. A friend, really. They dirtied my car. They put water on it. It was all clean. This comfort, I didn't put. Still blinking. The sound of the blinker, even the sound of the blinker is classy. How? But that, you wipe, glass, there you go. Don't leave the water. Even from this start, there is no jerkiness. There is none on his part, but with elegance and class, it's pleasant. It's so good. This little noise, a little bit mechanical, half electronic, half mechanical. The comfort of the carpet with this wool, this comfort here, it filters everything really. A real magic carpet. Oh cow, there, I'm at 60 kilometers per hour. I feel like I always stopped a fire. Here, 20 meters here, it's extraordinary, this feeling of luxury, of comfort. Once you've tasted this, it must be hard to go back to something else. Imagine the people who have the millions of euros to buy this, how if they go from this to their Aventador SVJ? But it must be a blast. And to go back to this, but here, it's 90, there are 580, I'm already above 90. We're going to take it slow hop, we'll set sail straight and drive nicely. Here, I'm at 90. I absolutely don't feel like I'm at 90 kilometers per hour. Little radar over there, adaptive cruise control, we have the driving aids. I still slow down, I'm always afraid of radars. A little bit. No, but this comfort, it's just incredible. I love it so much, I let go. I have a little mode B here too, which I can activate. So mode B, it's the regeneration mode. So even though we've modified it, we have a little regeneration. The mode B way, it still brakes a lot. I'm going to leave it off. In fact, it makes this car much more flexible. What is it pleasant? Wait, don't move. I help them drive to see how it will really slow down in traffic jams, because even the driving aids, I often tell you that some high-end brands, in fact, it's much better than, for example, if we take the generalist in terms of accelerations, braking, slowdowns. Hop, is he going to brake? Him there, he brakes hard, Whoa, I'm going to brake anyway. In the end, he told me he was taking care of it. But not to break the car. It's so good, even the somewhat hard braking, you can feel that the suspension, it worked, etc. But it was a little bit urgent, but still comfortable. Oh my, did you see, I'm in a Rolls Royce, that the starry sky and all, little shooting stars passing by. The look of people, you have no idea. It's incredible, but actually, I'm so in my cocoon that I absolutely don't care about what's happening outside. And I know that in any case, I am super protected. Because of the safety standards, the airbags, the size of the car, the weight, etc. So here, you are safe. There's a truck that could hit you. At most, you would say, oh, darn. There is a certain lightness, but at the same time, a certain feeling that makes it not too light. It's well assisted. The steering wheel is large, so it allows for great precision. We have the four-wheel steering. In fact, it makes this car much easier. So there is the noise. Normally, if it's like at BMW, we can deactivate. You press on 7 while keeping it pressed, and it precisely deactivates the reading of the signs. They took over the BMW system because they wanted the best in premium cars. It works very well considering it's BMW. Has worked with Rolls-Royce for decades. No, but the comfort on the anomalies. Honestly, I would love to take you with me on board this car. It's incredible. I might do it. I'm going to try to do that, I think. I've been driving this car for a few minutes. It's a delight. There is a big Dodane. It's a cotton back. It's a little ripple. It's so comfortable. The size is gigantic. You are in small villages like this. You really have to be careful. You have to take your time anyway with this kind of car. It's that we have the time. I'm slowing down quietly, a small roundabout. Series. If we take our years, that the seats are so open that it's not made for us to go fast, we take our time. It goes slowly, it's pleasant. Spring there that costs blinking. So the fact of having the four-wheel steering, it makes this car really feel like a boat. In fact, it turns a little bit on the spot. It's quite impressive, given the size of the machine. But this comfort on the small roads here, the asphalt, it's old asphalt, it makes a lot of noise here. Usually. Here, I'm getting my buttocks massaged. Here, I have small cushions that are massaging my buttocks. What is so incredible? I don't have any vibration feedback. I don't have any noise feedback. The rolling noises are so well soundproofed. There are foams everywhere. There are kilos and kilos of foam. It's just extraordinary. This comfort, this direction. If I do this, it's a suspension. Extremely driven, one might think, with so much comfort, the car will crash, and not at all. You can feel the four-wheel steering in action, so it takes time because precisely the demultiplication is done so that at the beginning it's super smooth. When I drive a Ferrari, I can change lanes quickly like this. In this case, I stay in my lane. That's it. It's done precisely so that we can have this extreme comfort and even in the direction. And when I turn, I'm going to turn back. A little more than a normal car, but this plays so much on precision and comfort. And precisely, it won't be raw. Even if I do this a little abruptly, in fact, no, it's not going to startle me. It's so good, it's so good. Wow, so can a Rolls-Royce Spectre be dynamic? Despite all this luxury, all this comfort, well, it still does. 585 horses. It clearly pushes more than 90% of standard cars. It's not a sports car, but look, it's still quite agile. You can take good speeds in turns. The four-wheel steering helps a lot to move this rolling boat. Clearly, it's just gigantic. The car doesn't even lean that much. However, you can feel that the seats are made for a calm city drive on the highway and not for a very, very dynamic drive. It's very open on the shoulders. It's very open when it's super comfortable. I feel like I'm on a couch. But Lord, it pushes when it comes to braking. It's a little bit greasy this morning. It's very, very heavy. You can feel that it's going to stop over many meters, especially when it's a little bit greasy like this. It triggers and warning. It's like all cars these days. But the acceleration, really, that will be it, the very impressive side. I attempted to accelerate the SP in a curve, carefully calibrated to maintain grip and avoid other issues. The fact of being able to take care of your safety, really, at best, of the best, that's the goal of this car. And above all, it drives like that. But if needed, it runs very strong. Very, very strong. But this luxury, this comfort, it doesn't necessarily make you want to do it this way. Even if you know me, I would have loved to put it sideways. We're not going to do it, because right now I'm going to make a rather classy, elegant, chic video, etc. There you go. I'm going to try to do a little bit of highway and others to see what it gives, because I want to do highway with it. And the Rolls-Royce clientele does about 5,000 kilometers a year. The Rolls-Royce clientele has about 8 cars. She does city driving. This is a car the customer will drive themselves, as they don't want to sit in the back with a chauffeur. We can also sit as a passenger. It's very pleasant, but it's a car that we're going to love to drive. Precisely for all this comfort side, this pleasure side, this space side, this well-being side. As a couple with the lady, we can still put the kids in the back. It's just extraordinary, and I love it, really, when we are in this way, this kind of small road. You travel to your country house in the countryside without issues. We'll still attempt to recharge. I'll try to partially discharge the battery to precisely see what it gives in terms of recharging, and the time we're going to take at a charging station. One of the things to do in a Rolls-Royce is to drive on a cobblestone road. You can hear that it's cobblestone. Me, I barely feel that it's big cobblestones. Very comfortable. Maybe I won't return this car. Maybe I'll go far long with it and never bring it back. I love it. It's too good, honestly. It's just exceptional. Now, I've been driving this car for a few hours. I'm still really wow for me. And for now, there's no negative point about driving this car or anything else. This comfort, this silence, this so pleasant side. We're going to go on the road at 110, so we're going to do a little bit faster. Yeah, I'm going to join the Top Gear teams on set. No, I don't know if I'll be able to show you a few little things today or not in this video, but I'm trying to make a little blog maybe. I will now reset my driving aids to 68 miles on my watch, and with that, everything is set. And like in a premium car, these BMW systems, so they really work well. It's not Rolls-Royce that developed this. For driving, we have a capacitive steering wheel. So just by placing my hands on it, it goes really well. Look at this space. It's bright. It's beautiful. What could be better than this day to day, which is just extraordinary for me, and I'm taking advantage of it. Wow, I love it. It's just pure pleasure. Not a car on the side. I can hardly hear anything. I'm at 110 kilometers per hour. It's absolutely delicious. In the car, there's no noise. It's very pleasant. Luxury right there. We are really in luxury. And frankly, right now, I'm tuning into crooner radio. A little bit of jazz, it's just extraordinary. And the sound, the melody, the reproduction of the bass, the Rolls-Royce audio system is incredible. And I'm just super good. I have no other words. It's top and it's all done. There's nothing else. It's just too good, and I'm gonna do a little bit. At 130 there on the highway, it accelerates very, very well, easily 130 kilometers per hour. What is amazing is that there is absolutely no wind noise. We're driving at 130, nothing very, very light, but as if it's done, it's super discreet, it's incredible. You feel surrounded by luxury here. The suspension and brakes perform perfectly, even when faced with obstacles like potholes and other road irregularities. In fact, that's all. There's nothing else to say. I must admit, it makes me want to hit the road and roam everywhere with this car no matter what. There are times I don't like to drive. There are times I would say I am so happy with this car. I actually love everything I do with it. It's crazy the difference there can be between a standard car and this, you know? And now I've gotten used to the image, the prestige, etc. Sometimes I drive incredible cars, like this one. It's incredible. But this one, it's incredible, a little bit above what there usually is. Well, now, we're getting to the end of the day. I took advantage of it. I'm on an extremely degraded country road, riddled with patches. Moreover, still this comfort there. We start to see the stars a little bit better. Quite nice. There are still very large potholes, and to be honest, I don't feel anything. It's still always this flying carpet effect luxury car, and it's just a treat, simply veiled. I'll take you back at night to really show you what this luxurious night atmosphere looks like. I can't wait. So I looked a little bit at the same time, the consumption data, since I just reached exactly 100 kilometers and the values since this morning. Having come from Ile-de-France, having left from Paris, and having come here to Dreux, average at 28.1 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Knowing that I stayed a lot at a standstill, I left the air conditioning running all the time and others. So it's not too ridiculous, I think. For such a big car, we had made a big wood. 110 also, so there, I don't know if you see, but it's super well lit. All on the ceiling thanks to this starry sky. And it's really magical when we look at the ceiling. Wow, I love it. Well, I find it really sublime. Even the spectrum there on the sides, it's very classy.
Still here, I'm on my way back to Paris. There's a lot of traffic around me.
I'm driving very slowly and I actually love taking my time with this car. I absolutely don't want to drive fast. I'm enjoying it. And honestly, right now, I'm really good. My little right lane, and I'm driving peacefully. Actually, it doesn't push you to drive fast at all. Wait, I'll light you up a little more like this so you can see me the same. Look at the lighting. It lights up really well in white. And if I put the full total, it's daylight in the car. Really there, it's daylight. It's quite incredible. It's rare for cars to light up as much, by the way. But even this one, in fact, will be enough for you to see all my driving aids well. I find it extraordinary. It works super well. It's calm, it's smooth, it's efficient. I find it wow. Another nice thing, it's the B mode that goes it up to the stop, and at the stop it really stops gently, so the B mode. It could also be a little plus when we need it. In town, for example, to make frequent stops or in traffic jams, if we don't want to put our... With autopilot or assisted pilot engaged, the car stops smoothly and comfortably. I've just arrived at a 300 kW charging station. The goal is to recharge this car. As you can see, compared, for example, to an 1030, it's still much, much bigger. We're sticking out quite a bit. You can tell it's a Rolls. And yet, I really limited myself to the parking space. I have no idea how this works. I'm going to try to connect these things and see what happens. Hop, but here, I open this and it's crippled. That's heavy, that every time. Hop there, hop there. Present card okay. Run. Authentication. That's the CCS there, so it's me. That must be the 2. Where is it noted? You still need to know a little bit. In electrical stuff, I think it's going to be that one plugged in and the other one was charging. Initialization, we're going to see how much it charges. I'm eager to see the power since we're at 15% on the car and I've preconditioned the battery. There we go, it started, so we're going to see how high it goes. I took the 300 kilowatt terminal. This car can normally handle up to 195 kilowatts. So we'll see. We can see that it's already going up quite quickly. 135, 143, 152, 160, 168. And we get very, very quickly to the peak load 190, which is already really, really not bad. I've already taken 1%, 191. And if I want to see in the car, hop, we hear that the terminal is heating up a little bit. So here, I'm thinking here, Saturday 100% at 12:27. I'm not necessarily looking to go to 100% Saturday as well. The charging power here, there you go. The goal is to do a 10 to 80%. That's where it's the fastest. And then I'll be able to bring it back and give you a little debrief at the same time. consumption, all that. Well, now it's 11:44. Result of the charge, I went from 11 to 80%. In just over 30 minutes with the charger on a 300 terminal, we can go 195 yin. Later, we reached a peak of 195 kilowatts. Now, we are around 90, gradually decreasing. We have a curve that is still quite stable. That's pretty good. So in the end, we'll do about 300 kilometers. Under the conditions in which I do them with shopping, being in Paris, letting it run for quite a while, which is pretty good for a daily station all the same. Well, so this new Rolls-Royce Spectre, what do we think about it? And the first time that I really try as a driver this kind of machine. Furthermore, this fully electric version is truly the pinnacle of the range. I had ridden in a Rolls-Royce Phantom when I was very young, but now I'm the one driving it. It was me, the driver, Rolls-Royce. This is really the pinnacle of luxury. Everywhere I went, people were looking at me. Even when I went to the Reeds, people were there. And yet, this is the kind of car you can come across in Paris. But here, it's really the top of the top in this color. This configuration is incredible. Kudos to Rolls-Royce for making this config both exterior and interior. I find it beautiful. It changes from grey cars, black cars, and it fits well with this kind of car. In terms of comfort, as you can imagine, it's really the ultimate comfort. We have massaging, ventilated, heated seats. The suspension is extremely pleasant. It's a little magic carpet. The electric side brings this even more comfortable aspect. And for me, that's where the electric has all its importance in this kind of car. We saw at the battery level, we will do almost 400 kilometers with a full battery under the conditions I used it in. In terms of recharging, it can go up to almost 200 kilometers. That's about a 30-minute break when making long journeys. We're going to have a little coffee. We're going to eat a little something. And we really do take advantage of this car. Despite its large size, we're getting used to maneuvering it carefully. The four-wheel steering is a major benefit. That's a real plus, really something to see since it's been launched on almost all the big cars. And clearly, if you succeed in life, this is the kind of car you need because it's really another level. There are the Ferraris, etc. Clearly here we are on luxury class refinement. And in fact, people look at you differently than when you have a Ferrari, a sports car. That for me is really the Rolls of the automobile, as they say. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and consider subscribing. Your support allows me to test drive these types of cars. So, the more you click on the little subscribe button, the more we can go wild. And thank you again to all those who organized this test. I'll see you soon for our next video. Ciao.